All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all glory, all honors unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. This is another edition of GMS News and Prophecy. And I'm going to start with a scripture. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9. And I'll start at the top. Verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So we're to look for signs in the earth that are happening around us to measure the times. And we have to do them diligently and constantly, so we're always aware of what's going on, so we can know what the Lord is saying to us. Okay? Now this is the point, and this is going to be the central point of the lesson. Verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Okay? And we have a number of earthquakes recently, and uproars and protests of the people recently, that is letting us know that we are in the time where the Lord is beginning to visit it. Okay? Visit the world. So, let's see. What I have here, a few articles here. I'm going to start with this one. And this is from thebusinessinsider.com, where it says risk of civil unrest surging in more than half of the world's countries, analysis says. So this is a heavy thing. All right. You have civil unrest surging in more than half of the world's countries. That lets you know that we're in a time of really a war. Anytime that you have unrest, you have protests and riots, that's basically war of the citizens against their governments. Because where are they protesting? They're protesting the laws and the things that are coming down from their rulers. Okay? So listen to this. It says, the world is bound for more disruption and unrest in the next 6 months, an intelligence firm said. Its analysis said the risk of civil unrest has increased in 101 of the 198 countries it's tracked. That's a huge percentage of the world, man. Okay? It cited inflation and the energy and food crises linked to the war in Ukraine as key factors. And we understand the real movers and shakers behind this inflation and this Ukraine crisis. But nevertheless, the fact that it's happening, people are going to start to get antsy and want to go with their law enforcement and the legislators and their rulers about it. I mean, you already had the storming of what? Of the White House, January 6th. Okay, going back, you had the storming of the parliament in these other countries. Okay, I think one was in Sri Lanka. All right, they're dealing with protests and other places as well. Okay, getting into the offices, so you know that it's a pattern, but things are increasing. Okay. It says the risk of civil unrest has surged this year in more than half of the world's countries, signaling a coming period of heightening global instability fueled by inflation, war, and shortages of essentials, a new analysis says. Okay? It says, although there have been several high-profile and large-scale protests during the first half of 2022, the worst is undoubtedly yet to come, it added. And yes, the worst is yet to come. So now let me get another scripture, because all of this is prophecy. So now let me go to 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, and show you what it says there. 2nd Ezra 15, and we know these scriptures. You know, I go through them a lot. But this is what it says. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." This is verse 14. I'm gonna read down. "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh." So violence is what draws near in the earth right now. "And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." Verse 16. "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes." So the people, all right, in this sedition and these uprisings, they're not going to regard their kings, their rulers, their presidents, their prime ministers, all right, the different law enforcement agencies. They don't care. Okay? It says, "And the course of their actions shall stand in their power." So this is what we're seeing manifest in the world today. Protest after protest after protest. And it's in over 100 countries. And there's only 198 major countries in the world. Okay? The ones that's tracked, as the article said. So that's basically telling you the whole world is on fire, man. And this is all the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? Matter of fact, I'm going to bring a scripture about this very same thing and what Yahweh Shai said. Okay? Let's see if I can get this. Go to the red letter. This is let me see, what scripture do I want to get? I want to get oh yeah, this is what I want. It's still in Luke. All right. Let's go to the book of Luke. Yep, Luke 12 and 49. It says, I am come, and this is what Yahweh Shai said, "I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled?" Okay, and the fire in the earth is already kindled, man. You have already, you got literal fires, you got things in the spirit happening, spiritual fire. You got the camps. Okay. The truth is coming out. Prophecies are coming to pass. It's already being kindled in the earth. Okay? So this is a heavy time that we're living in. Okay? A heavy time. Okay? I want to go to another article. Here's one here. This is from the Washington Post. And this from August 29th. It says, "Clashes erupt after Iraqi Shiite cleric resigns, 15 dead." Okay? From Baghdad, it says, "An influential Shiite cleric announced Monday that he would resign from Iraqi politics, prompting hundreds of his angry followers to storm the government palace and sparking clashes with security forces. At least 15 protesters were killed." Once again, these protesters are being set up to get more and more violent and actually go to these government houses and storm the inside, go to the palaces. They did it over here in the States. That was just the beginning of the type of heat that they want to bring in the earth. That order out of chaos. Okay? And I'm talking about those that are behind the scenes pulling the strings. This is how it works, man. And more people are going to be killed, okay? Because the fire is being kindled now. Let's go to another one. Right, and okay, now this is from CBS News. Iraqi political clashes leave 23 dead. Right, and this from September 1st. Here's why some fear that just like Afghanistan, Iraq is another failed state. Okay, so here you go. Here you go, man. All right. Yeah, first published on August 31st. I guess they updated the people that died. Now it's 23 from 15. Okay, so we're in these times, man. Okay, we're in these times. I read this one. Let's get this one. This is from commondreams.org. It says, worse yet to come, as global civil unrest index hits all-time high. Over the coming months, governments across the world are about to get an answer to a burning question. You know that fire. Will protests sparked by socio-economic pressure transform into broader and more disruptive anti-government action? What does the Bible prophecy say? See, this is why you have to go to the scriptures to get the truth, man. All right? This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. All right? And that's what they're doing. They should not regard their kings nor princes. Right? Their anti-government actions. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So this is what is happening in the earth right now. The actions of the people are standing in their power. And it's going to lead to, in a lot of places, more lockdowns and martial law. Okay? Especially as inflation and the global economic and socio-economic climate gets more and more volatile. Okay? These are real things in the news, man. Okay? Real things. Now with these earthquakes. Okay? Because scripture says earthquakes and uproars of the people are going to be signs of the Most High visiting the earth. So this is from Al Jazeera. It says earthquake in China's Sichuan kills 46 and landslide strike. The 6.8 magnitude quake was Sichuan's biggest since August 2017, when the magnitude 7.0 tremor hit the Aba region. Okay? A magnitude 6.8 earthquake struck China's Sichuan province, killing more than 40 people and shaking the capital Chengdu. 46 people were killed in the quake, Chinese state media Xinhua reported on Tuesday, citing local authorities at a press briefing. All right? And what did Yahushua say? Let's get another prophecy. You know, more words of what Yahushua said. Matter of fact, since I'm in Luke, I'll go to Luke, the 21st chapter. All right? This is Luke chapter 21. Let's see. Luke 21. And 10. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And we're seeing that. We're seeing Russia invading Ukraine. You had the other wars, Afghanistan, Iraq. All right, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. It says, and great earthquake shall be in diverse places. Okay? So you had a 6.8 in China. All right? It says, and famines and pestilences and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. And there's all kinds of things in the skies right now, man. Especially with these chariot sightings, man. The so-called UFOs, the angels of the Lord, they're being sighted everywhere, man. I mean, at this point, the governments can't deny them. It's just a matter of time before the Lord allows the angels to do what they got to do. Okay? All right, let me jump down. I'll be remiss if I didn't read this. Luke 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars. And we had different eclipses, different constellations, you know, different planets line up recently this summer. Okay? So those are signs as well. It says, and upon the earth, distress of nations. Right? The uproars, the distress of the people and the anti-government stances that they're taking. It says, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Right? And a lot of times when you have an earthquake, there comes a tsunami. So that's a huge wave that comes, especially in these island countries. Okay? It says, men's hearts fell in them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. So we're going to see Yahushua come in a huge chariot, just like you've seen in the the movie Independence Day with Will Smith in '96. That was a heavy movie, because it showed you how Yahweh Shai and the angels were going to return. It says that when these things begin to come to pass, right, these different signs, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draws nigh. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. Right? Now, we saw that movie Nope a few weeks back when it came out. And there was, it was basically a movie about the chariots, as if they were a frightening thing, but they're only frightening to the wicked. But those of us that are looking and hoping for Yahweh Shai's return to come soon, we're looking up, man. We're watching the signs, we're watching the stars, we're watching the chariots. We want these things to happen, because that is the redemption of the nation of Israel, right? And the salvation, okay? And I think, that was it. Here's another earthquake from Reuters.com. September 5th, 2022. Afghanistan earthquake kills 8. More casualties feared. Okay? It says an earthquake in northeastern Afghanistan killed at least 8 people early on Monday, and the toll could rise. The state news agency quoted a regional official as saying, the quake of magnitude 5.3. See, you can either have a 4.0, 5.0 earthquake take out a number of people, man. Right? The one in China was 6.8. And they go up and up in the Richter scale, man. Okay, the Lord is visiting the earth, all right? It says the quake of magnitude 5.3 struck near the eastern city of Jalalabad in the early hours, the United States Geological Survey said. Sunday night's earthquake has caused financial and human losses in Kunar province. Malawi Najibullah Hanif, the spokesman for the provincial governor, told the Bakhtar news agency, adding that casualties could rise. So we got to be in the spirit of fearing the Lord, man, being in the spirit of watching, praying and being, more into the spirit of Yahweh Shai as these times edge closer to the end of the society, because they're manifesting themselves in ways that only the Lord knows and only He can guide us through. Okay? All right? I'm going to keep reading on this scripture and I'm going to close out. This is Luke 21 and 29. And he spake to them a parable. Behold, the fig tree and all the trees. Hey, and brothers were talking about figs earlier, man. Okay? When they now shoot forth, ye see and know of your own selves that summer is now nigh at hand. You see, certain plants budding, flowers, certain smells in the summertime, or late spring. So, okay, it's late spring. Summer's about to be coming in. Right? So you understand the times because you see the signs of the plants. So it says, so likewise ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of the Most High is at hand. Verily I say unto you, and verily means truly, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. And these are the prophets' words, all right? Yahweh Shai was a prophet. So these are the words that aren't going to pass away. They're going to come to pass, okay? So with that, I'm going to end it here. Hope it was edifying. All praise, glory, and honors going to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.